go, you're watching The Rexer Show.
What's up, everyone? P-Dubs, Michael B. P-Dubs, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining, Michael B. You are, well, thanks for joining. I mean, this is a surprise to have you on the Tuesday Night Rexer Show.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you very much for asking me.
Glad you're here. Everybody in the chat, Jolly Green, supple wrist. He's got such a supple wrist. You guys know what that's from?
No.
That song? Oh, God. The Who?
Oh, Pinball Wizard.
Pinball Wizard.
Yeah.
It's got, I don't know about you guys sometimes. All you guys do is just play arcades, and that's it, and video games. You got to expand your horizons. Zero Hero, show me retro. What's up, man? What's up? And who said Conti Dinda? I mean, he was on the last one, made a lot of comments. So this stream, you will hear some truth or at least what I think is the truth. We finally have something to go off of with this MVSX. I watched the video of the display. You can't handle the truth. P-Dubs, you know that one at least? You can't handle the truth?
Yep. What is that? Was that A Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. So guys, okay. So I've been wanting to do this ever since, we saw it live in action for the first time. I've been wanting to say what I thought about this machine. Okay. And when we originally talked, guys, I said, well, I hope it's going to be a better build. I hope there's things that are better. But then as more information started coming out, I said, man, this kind of starts to feel like a one-up. And some of the pieces, it started to feel like a piece of the puzzle was going to be a one-up type quality. And I kind of want to talk about the quality too. Now, there was a gentleman who did a video today who just blasted the MVSX, okay? And he said some other stuff. We don't care about that. We just care about his points on what he said about the MVSX. And I'm going to play his audio in the beginning. I'm not going to say he's wrong for what he said. And if you didn't see the video, you don't even have to see it. I'm going to play the main points of the audio of what he said. And then we're going to talk about those points to begin with. But one of the things he didn't talk about, guys, and I want to know people in the chat, is the guy didn't talk about the user interface. And when I saw this user interface, I was I didn't know at first. And people in the chat, I guess on a 1 to 10 scale, when you saw the user interface and it was scrolling around in a circle and you saw that, P-Dubs, what did you think of it? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rank it for what they did for that user interface?
Well, the user interface, it looked a lot like something you would see kind of like on a console, like on the mini consoles that have been coming out, right? Like it looked like a mini console interface. Honestly,
it looked like the PlayStation.
Yeah, it looked like, I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't like a spectacular interface, but it definitely wasn't like, oh my God, it's coin ops or core pretty or obsidian black pretty. It was pretty, it just looked like I felt like I had a Neo Geo mini console plugged into a TV when I looked at the interface.
Yeah. What, Michael B, rate it. What did you think when you saw it? Zero Hero, 6 of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the worst for this because I actually haven't watched a lot of the coverage so far. I watched some of Ralph's live stream. That's about it.
But did you see the scrolling design?
No, not the interface yet.
I'm going to talk about it then. It does say better than the one up for Zero Hero. Okay.
Oh, so for sure. It was. Yeah, I'd give them that. Yeah.
Okay, so they had to do something because they had 50 games. So it wasn't as simple as being able to put a 7-game UI on there like Arcade 1UP. I think Arcade 1UP does a fabulous job with their main screen, and we'll call it an interface, even though it really doesn't do much. You don't move to settings, you don't move around. There's not a lot there, but it's nice. It's simple. It looks nice, and you can select your games easy. When I saw this interface, it just jumped out at me that, oh my God, this is the PlayStation Classic interface. It circles around and it does that, whooshy thing. And I thought, well, wait a second. We're playing an arcade here. And I'm not saying that MVSX the cartridges didn't come in a case or they didn't have box art. They did. They had some box art because you had the AES but this is an arcade. So what I wanted to see on the interface was something more arcade-like. Nobody remembers I won't say nobody remembers, but if you bought an arcade cart, if you bought the cart for the Neo Geo, you didn't buy them. Those were other operators and they had the cases. You didn't know what that box art looked like or cared about. I wanted personally to see the picture of the MVSX, the top, the bar top. I wanted to see an image inside it, maybe even a video, and I wanted to see like the marquee in the marquee, the picture of the image in the marquee. Does that make sense to you guys? And then that scrolls around because that's an arcade. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about an arcade, not a console, not box art for a console. So I was a little disappointed. It's not ugly, but do you get where I'm going with this, P-Dubs?
I understand your point of view on this, and I do agree. I mean, I thought it looked good. I mean, it's better than some other ones out there on the market. But I don't think it was like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful interface I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? Like, there's always opportunities for improvement with all products.
Yeah.
So.
But one of the things that I really thought too is, the coin ops one that kind of just came out. I forget what it's called, but it has the arcades and there's
diamonds.
The diamonds. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to see something like that on this. If you guys know the diamonds, and Michael B, if you haven't seen the diamonds, it's exactly what I'm talking about. The interface just scrolls around and goes forward. So
maybe Rex, maybe Unico took a look at the market and they said, you know what, people are buying these mini consoles up like hotcakes. They are selling like hotcakes, and all their interfaces are kind of similar. I mean, just scroll to the right. Here's all the games. Maybe they just said, let's stick with what's working right now in the market. Maybe they did that.
Yeah. Well, and Zero Hero, I know what you're saying. They don't come with an interface, but you need some type of interface because you got 50 games. Now they did have a legitimate 161 cart, and I can't remember what the interface looks like, but I think it was just the games on the left, and you go up and down, and you scroll on the games on the legitimate Neo Geo cart, if I remember correctly. But so I understand what you're saying. You have to do something. But even Supple Wrist remembers diamonds. It looks nice. They use the 3D box art. Yes, Colin. At least they use the 3D box art. But a lot of people like that coin ops look as well. Okay, guys, let's get into the good stuff here. I got a list of topics, but a lot of it stems from this guy's video. I'm going to play this guy's video. I'm going to share my screen here, guys. I'm just playing the audio again.
Is this the guy? Is this the guy who lost his mind today on the
Yes,
internet?
It's the guy that went off the rails. But the reason I want to show it is because he has some good points here, and these are points that I thought not so ridiculous in nature to that, but
right.
Hold on, bud. Let me just. We'll find it. Why don't you ask Bobo?
Yeah, Conti, Brad, Fiscal. I mean, that's what a 5 out of 10 is. Or a 6 out of 10. It's like, it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, it definitely looks better than some of the other arcade interfaces out there. It's just not. It's not spectacular. So.
Yeah. Here we go, guys. I got my kid here. I'm going to play this, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Let's make sure the volume's up, and here we go.
Play Metal Slug with White Blood. $500 to play that I just want everybody to know about that shitty Neo Geo.
And sorry about the
MVS,
language. Cut most of it out.
Bar top cabinet. Okay, so first of all, it's got a cheap, shitty LCD screen, cheap, shitty speakers. It doesn't have genuine, Sanwa, arcade joysticks or buttons. It is missing critical Neo Geo games. It doesn't even have Puzzle Bobble. Why would anybody want to play or buy a Neo Geo cabinet that doesn't even have Puzzle Bobble in it? It's like one of the main games. Okay, and they're so lazy with the emulation package they put together. Apparently, they're forcing it to run at 60 hertz or something because because you can see in video footage of it, it isn't running at the Neo Geo's native refresh rate, which is 59.1 hertz. And so the scrolling in all the games is going to be choppy. It's all going to hitch. You're going to have irregular shadow flickering, the same old shit, just like, basically running a Neo Geo emulator on a 60 hertz, computer monitor without variable refresh. That's exactly what it's going to be. Why would anybody pay money for that? And what's so amazingly horrible about it is that this is a dedicated device. I mean, even if you don't have a variable refresh monitor, it is trivial to basically just, create a custom, resolution, that runs at that refresh rate, because it's a dedicated Neo Geo cabinet. It only had to run at one refresh rate. They could have done that. Okay, so, okay, and then on top of everything else, don't even let you edit the BIOS settings. And they didn't, put good BIOS settings in there by default. So guess what? You're going to pay $500 to play Metal Slug with white blood. $500 to play Samurai Showdown with white blood and no fatalities. So I mean, like I said, it's cheap shit. It's missing from games. It runs at the wrong refresh rate and is going to hitch and be choppy, and it's censored.
Okay, man.
Okay.
The humanity, Rex. It doesn't come with Puzzle Bobble.
Bobble.
The humanity. This thing's a piece of shit. I'm never going to find this cabinet. Where's my Puzzle Bobble? Oh, my God.
There's no Puzzle Bobble.
No Puzzle Bobble. No Puzzle Bobble.
We'll get through his complaints, okay, guys? And we're going to get through his complaints in a second, okay? But a lot of people said the same thing over there about he's raging over Puzzle Bobble and some other stuff. Now, if you guys didn't see that, it's kind of funny.
I don't think that this guy actually owns any 3/4 scale arcades. And I think this guy misunderstood what this product is. This product is a 3/4 scale toy replica arcade machine, just like an Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Ups, minus a couple of cabinets by Code Mystics guys. We're not allowed to go into the BIOS settings. We're not grown up enough. We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to go in there and change difficulty or anything. Hands off, Buttercup. Okay. So, but we're conditioned that these cabinets do not provide those features. I mean, a lot of this guy's arguments, they don't apply to a 3/4 scale arcade machine. I think this guy legit thought that this was a real arcade machine.
Well, I wouldn't say he thought that. He knew he knows it. He's more on the the expert side of arcades, or the arcade enthusiast type person, which I find myself more on that as well. But as you talk about, he doesn't know what this arcade is or what this arcade's for. And Michael, why don't you go? We briefly spoke for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Talk about the comment you saw on that video and your thoughts about who this arcade is for. Who are they targeting, and who should they be targeting?
So there was a comment in his video from a guy by the name of Mike, who mentioned that this is a cabinet made for the masses. So this is not a cabinet made for retro gamers and for a niche market. It's made for the masses. But I mentioned to Rex, and this is a true thing, the Neo Geo itself is a niche market. So really they are appealing to a niche market here. So is this made for the masses with just cheap parts to get it out there, or is this trying to appeal to people that have a love for Neo Geo, that niche market I just discussed?
Yeah. P-Dubs, your thought on who it's for?
Same. I mean, honestly, I think this is for fans of 3/4 scale arcade machines. If you do not like Arcade 1-Up, if you do not like the quality, the materials, the pricing, the packaging, you are not going to like this product. But if you like Arcade 1-Up products, you're probably going to like this product. It's made of the same materials, same quality, around the same price point. You do get a little bit more bang for your buck. You are getting 50 games versus 3 or 5, right? And, but then again, you're getting the same kind of speakers. But then again, no correction. Arcade 1-Up has improved their speakers. But their original Wave 1 cabinets, they did have those cheap 5-watt speakers in them, right? Hell, I think they were even 2 watts.
Yeah.
And then they went to 5 watts. And now on the latest generation where you actually have dual speakers, I haven't actually cracked open the case on one of them yet, but I dare say those are stronger than a 5-watt speaker.
It just seems, though, that Neo Geo, and I'll go back to it really quick, Neo Geo enthusiasts, they kind of want something a little better, I think. I think they want something a little better.
I get that, but do they want to pay for it?
Yes.
I think they would. I think they would. I think a
would?
lot of people would. I don't think this is. I think it's built like an Arcade 1-Up, but it's not gonna. You're gonna put it in a wherever you put it in a Costco or wherever you put it online. people don't know Neo Geo like they know Pac-Man, like they know Street Fighter. And that's kind of the one thing that I think is missing from here, as to we were all expecting such a better built cab and such a something to compete with 1UP. They didn't do it. And I'll go down the list again with he starts with the LCD screen, the 5x4, that's a botch job completely, and it's a cheap screen. Then he goes to cheap speakers. Then he goes to no genuine arcade sticks or buttons. And he talks about Sanwa. If I am right, I believe they were Hap Ultimates that really were in the originals. You can't find the originals with the original sticks anymore, but they were some sort of Hap brand. They weren't really any type of Sanwa. But then he goes missing games. It's missing Puzzle Bobble, maybe. That's not a deal breaker. It's missing. I think Baseball Stars 2 isn't on there, but 1 is. So there's a few games you might, but you got 50, so don't complain about that.
Well, you got 50 with 13 of them being King of Fighter games. Yeah. So, I mean, the selection could have been a little bit better.
Yep, I agree with that. The breakout in the selection could have been a lot better. And then he goes on again and he talks about the refresh rate, and he's technically right there, but nobody's going to know about the refresh rate. And P-Dubs, you said you heard people talking about that. Why don't you go ahead and explain that?
Talking about what? Talking about
59, the 59 hertz refresh rate versus the 60 to the native.
Well, I didn't hear anyone talking about it but him in his video today that I saw, but I only watched the first hour of that unboxing. After the first hour, I thought they covered everything, so I turned it off. But if they went longer, Michael B, did they actually show more gameplay and how it looked?
No, I haven't watched all of Ralph's stream because I actually fell asleep on it. I started watching it late. I missed so much stuff. Like, I'm so confused by this, why there's no blood. And then at one point they were trying to switch the language to get a different region code. Maybe there'd be blood there.
That didn't make sense, though. They were switching the language on the UI. They weren't You can't switch the language on the game in the mid-game without any BIOS applications, and it's a completely different ROM to begin with. So that was a effort and futility there.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it just... you probably have to be a Neo Geo fan to really like this product. But then again, if you already like arcade 1UPs, I think you're going to like this cabinet. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, and again, I'll give him some he's right on the LCD screen. I'm going to talk about the aspect ratio and the resolution in a second and make it simple, because we need to clarify that. He's right about the speakers. He's right about the buttons and joysticks. He's not really right about the games. He's right about the refresh rate, but I don't care about the refresh rate. I'm not such a Neo Geo enthusiast where I'm going to go, oh my God, this thing, I play it on my emulation, and I can't tell. I mean, and then no BIOS. BIOS would have been great, but nobody has them anymore. But we didn't get anything extra. So going back to the monitor, though, guys, we talked before, and I explained how resolution and aspect ratio works. Okay, and on their stream, they went over the same type of mathematics that I do, but they forgot one thing. Number one, they forgot that Neo Geo had 2 different resolution types when it was displayed. Okay. And let me just I'll bring this up real quick. Let me share this screen so people understand. First of all, I just want to share this really quick. So the resolution that they were talking about, and I hate to say I don't even want to talk about resolution because it's really irrelevant in this matter, and I'll explain why. But there's a list of games that came in 320 by 224. And then there's some that came in 304 by 224, and you can see in that picture. Now, we really don't care about that. I don't really care about that for this factor, because number one, they put a 5.4 monitor in it, okay? When you talk about arcades had 4x3, almost all of them had standard 4x3 CRT monitors, okay? The monitor itself for the CRT is 4x3. When the picture is displayed on a CRT, it doesn't do the same thing with resolution as an LCD does, or a computer monitor. It doesn't transpose it the same. It puts the picture into the 4x3 CRT. You don't walk up to a SNK Neo Geo arcade and go, oh, I wonder why there's missing pixels on the black and white of this CRT. No, the CRT handles it completely differently. It handles resolution completely differently. And that's why when you say this resolution is 320 by 224 or 304 by 224, whatever it is, if you put a 224 resolution on an LCD, you know what it would look like? Crap. But when you put it on in a CRT, it looks pretty good, because it handles everything differently. And what they should have done was put a 4x3 monitor in there and sure sent that resolution. It doesn't matter. It's so close to 4x3, the native resolution, that nobody would have known the difference if you expanded it, that missed those 3 pixels high or low or however many. You needed to put it in a 4x3, and not only you'd have a wider screen. Now they got black bars on the top and bottom. If you guys didn't see that in the thing, you got the damn black bars again. Nobody wants black bars. That's not how it's supposed to look. And I understand that it's the 1-for-1 pixel perfect ratio. I completely get it, but that's not how arcades transpose images.
Yeah. Okay. So they should have used a 4:3 screen, but they're using 5:4 is what you're saying.
Of course. And you can't get the right type of feel for an arcade because arcades used 4x3s. They use 4x3 screens.
Right.
Okay. And they didn't cut pixels off like that.
Well,
so why not just put it in 4x3? But anyway,
Arcade 1-Up is using 4x3 now, right, Michael?
Now they are, I think.
They used to be 5. They used to be 5:4, right? And then they
switched. I'm not sure. Someone just put in the comments that you actually can't buy 4x3 LCDs anymore, and that might be the reason.
Well, then there you go.
Because I don't doubt that at all, but I would think that something is out there that's better than a cheap 5x4, whatever it is. But I'm not going to say that I don't agree with him about 4x3s. You can buy some sort of monitor or some sort of display that's 4x3. Everything out there is 4x3, and I thought Arcade 1-Up changed and stopped putting 5x4s in there.
Well, here's the question: Do you want to get to
Simple
the?
Risk says 5x4 for all of them.
Okay, so screen apparently might have some refresh issue, correct? Is that what you're surmising from all of this?
No, that refresh has nothing to do with the aspect ratio and fitting the screen, fitting it.
You're just talking about the aspect ratio.
Yeah, they do have a fit to screen, but it's an awful 5x4 fit to screen. It looks even worse than when you go pixel perfect.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, I didn't watch any of the actual gameplay and how it looked. I don't think they did a lot of that during the first hour, so I can't comment on that. But if it's not the right aspect ratio, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? But was there any way to make it the right aspect ratio? I mean, if those monitors are not available, like they're saying.
I don't know, but when you guys mod yours, Arcade 1-Ups, what are you putting in it? Are you putting in a 5x4? No, you're putting in 4x3 monitors. You're putting in 19-inch or
usually
17-inch.
Those Dell 2007 FP whatever. Those are usually what we put in there.
Yeah. So I understand it's more expensive, but that's what you're getting. You're getting crap. You didn't get something as good. You didn't get something as good. But okay.
So hold on, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna make sure I have a tally here, Rex, because I have a feeling this might not be the last one of yours.
The last one of my what?
Negatives.
Well, no, my negatives. My negatives are kind of what he said. With the joysticks and the buttons.
Okay.
I wish I had better, but you don't.
Well, hold on a minute now. I did catch that part, and Ralph did mention that the buttons and the joysticks were equivalent to the At Games products, which I have all the At Games products. And I'll argue with anyone that those are some pretty good out of the box joysticks and buttons that they put in the At Games products. They are a million times better than the real feel arcade controls that come with an Arcade 1-Up, which are soft, it's like pushing putting your hand in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's how soft those buttons are. You know what I mean? So the buttons and joysticks, honestly, I think are going to be okay if they are the equivalent of at least what At Games puts in. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna jump in here just for a second, and I've never used an At Games cabinet. I'm not gonna say anything negative about that because I don't know, but I will tell you that the Neo Geo purists that have been buying these products since they've started re-releasing stuff, going all the way back to the Neo Geo AES X handheld AES version that came out, They are nuts about it being the exact same as the originals. Like, that's what killed that product. The actual AES controller that they released didn't feel like the original. I thought it was pretty good, but they said it wasn't exactly like the original. So the purists that are going to be looking to buy this cabinet, if it doesn't feel exactly like an MVS cabinet, they are going to tear it to death.
They're going to tear it to death 100%.
Yeah.
And they're going to figure out a volume issue, because if he said it's tinny and it's bad and he had to make a good point of it, it's probably bad. It's probably really bad if he went as far to kind of dance around the subject, but yet at least explain that it's not that great. And we know it's not, because it's got 2-inch speakers in it.
Let's ask the chat. Guys, do you feel that a 5-watt speaker is acceptable on these machines? Should these companies be giving us a bigger, better quality system for $400 or $500, or do you guys think 5 watts is enough? Keep in mind the iArcade has got, geez, what is it? 1.21 gigawatts? No, it's 100 watts. But then again, their product is priced more expensive. And then also, geez, what are the at-game speakers? I can't even remember.
That's what I was just about to say, the same thing. I want the experience. I want to be blown away by my cabinet.
But look, if you buy an iArcade, you at least know you're getting something better. And what are you getting better? Well, at least you know you're getting a better volume. Then you could even go to the PCB and say, well, you're getting a better PCB with the iArcade. You know, with this, you know, I looked briefly at the specs online. You guys in Nostalgia, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a damn NES Classic chip in here or something. It's not even, it's not anything to write home about, you know, what's in here. And I see, you know, so hopefully Nostalgia can comment on that. But there's nothing in this thing that says, oh my God, they went above and beyond what I wanted them to, you know, and it's something good.
I'm a little disappointed in the sound system. It didn't sound good, but then again, Ralph was on a live stream, so you're picking up a sound over a microphone over the internet stream. It's going to sound the way weird. But then again, I honestly feel that is a missed opportunity by Unico. I think they should have put, you know, you didn't have to go 100 watts, but you could have gone more than 5. You know what I'm saying? To, you know, really make those games, you know, immersive, I guess is the word. So, but yeah. So yeah, I think the speakers are a big fail in my opinion. So missed opportunity.
Okay. So we talked about the missing games. What about the BIOS and the no blood and the guy makes points about, you know, there's no blood in the fighting games. There's no blood in Metal Slug. It would be nice again. It would be nice if we had that. It would be nice if you could access that. Is it that hard to make it happen?
I think it's silly, in my own personal opinion, that any company blocks those features on us. Like, I just don't. Is there a reason why? Like, is it a licensing thing? Is it a deal with the publisher? Like, why? Or is it strictly like their decision? Like, Arcade went up as well as Unico. Like, yeah, we don't want people going here messing with the difficulty or fast mode or blood mode or anything like that. Like, if I understood the reason why they don't let us go into those settings, because you can go into those settings on other arcade machines. Like, I think we should. I think we're grown adults. We should be allowed to go in there and play with it. In my opinion, what do you think?
I can in MAME. So
yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Michael.
Is it a programming issue from their standpoint where they've got to put more money and time in to give us these options? I know MAME has these options just come up, but everything Arcade 1-Up has done where they've provided options, they've had to have another company come in and basically almost reprogram the game to allow us at those options.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great question. I wish somebody would answer it more in detail. But, you know, we want blood. I mean,
we want blood.
Right?
We
want what you got in an arcade, and that's what I'm trying to say is I want to get what I got in an arcade. That's what I want. You know,
right.
So and it boils down to all that, P-dubs, to the joysticks, to the sound, to the monitor. I don't want to look at a 5x4 monitor when in an arcade it was a 4x3. I don't want that stuff. I want something as close to the original as possible, and I'd pay for it. Now, let's talk about pay, guys, and people in the chat. he made a good point that I'm going to pay $500 because it's going to be 500 and it's going to be 550 after tax and shipping, maybe 600. I don't know how they're doing all that. What did you guys pre-order? Did anybody pre-order? I think it was live already. I would love to know what the total came out after. Was there shipping?
Yeah, I put a video like 20 minutes after the email was sent out that it's live. I made a quick video saying, "Hey guys, the pre-orders are live." I have not placed my pre-order yet, though. Probably going. I probably will. I think I am going to pre-order it. I am very interested in the product still.
Fiscal Within says he didn't get charged tax. That's interesting. Okay. I don't know.
Again,
but 530.
Okay, so we have the screen ratio, the speakers, the BIOS settings are all pissing Rex off. What else? What else?
I think the price is now. The price is now with all this stuff. It's now an arcade 1-up. Okay, that's what I got. I got an arcade 1-up with 50 games. Okay, great. I'm glad I got 50 games. It's much better. But now I'm paying $530 for an arcade 1-up. I get a pedestal and a stand. And don't forget now, one of the allures that people might have thought was, well, if I get the stand, I can take it maybe off the stand and I can put it on a bar top or I can leave it on the stand. You ain't doing that now. Once you screw those bolts in, right? You got 4 or something bolts underneath. Nobody's going to want to go back under every time and unscrew it, and unscrew it and then go put it on the bar top and then put it back on the pedestal and then go back in. You're not going to want to do that. So now, that option's kind of gone. It's not a bar top and you don't really have that flexibility. So, I mean, the price, Peter. No, Michael B. You tell me about the price. So $530 for the whole thing. Is it worth it?
Is that including tax?
They said no tax. I don't know where they're buying this from. Maybe it's a black market or something. I don't know how it's getting through no tax, but
I don't know if 530 is worth it. I guess they're justifying it with the quantity of games you receive compared to competitors, what they're offering. And that's the extra upping in price, I guess. The quality wise, it doesn't seem to be any difference. And I mean, it's basically designed to fit right next to your arcade 1-ups. It's designed like an arcade 1-up. So the only difference is the number of games that they're justifying for the price point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Mr. Chip. I missed this comment, but he says you can buy an actual Neo Geo cab for less than $800. I know people that got Neo Geo cabs for $350 online at auctions and $400. And they were, 4 slot, 6 slot, doesn't matter. Then you get one of those 161 carts and bam, you buy one of those, you're good. So I agree. I'm not buying it anyway, guys. I always tell P-Dubs always says, you buying it? I'm like, P-Dubs, I'm broke, man. You saw my kid running around in the back here. I got kids, man, young kids. I don't have this kind of money to be spending on all these arcades, and not many people do. So you have to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely. And that's why we do these streams. That's why I do them, because I want to make everybody aware of what's going on.
My personal opinion after looking at that first hour of footage we saw is that the speakers, the settings, as well as the fact that alphanumeric display on the control deck is truly just a faux show, that it's not actually tied into the system. Mm-hmm. All it does is randomly display some numbers, I think is what they were saying. It's not tied in or anything. So it's just a fluff feature at this point that they threw in there, right? And alphanumeric displays aren't that expensive. I mean, they're not that expensive. So, honestly, in my opinion, after that first initial review, I do feel that $500 is too high for that product. I honestly feel it should be $400 and maybe an extra $50 for the base. I think we're off by about $50 or so. Because the only thing it has over an arcade 1-up at this point is it has 50 games. I mean, other than that, like you said, Rex, you're just buying an arcade 1-up that's got 45 more games than the typical arcade 1-up. So there's nothing else special about the cabinet. There's nothing else enhanced. It does look, although there's the possibility. What if we can add more games?
Yeah.
That's
the big question mark right there, and I can't see
the what
if it's similar to the stick or whatever, then somebody can hack it and open it up and let's add more games. Hobby Hands, you're right. I don't know anything about the wattage on these speakers, so I'm glad you're helping clear up some of this stuff because I know nothing about speakers. I'm not an audio expert. So I think it's only a $399 cab at best. That is 400 at best. With the pedestal though, P-dubs with the pedestal.
You're with the pedestal. See,
Yes.
I was willing to give it an extra 50 for the pedestal, but you're saying, all right.
And we haven't even seen the pedestal yet to see how it sits on there and whether it's stable and good.
Well, on the website, they actually showed on my video where I announced that the pre-orders were live. It bolts up from the bottom. So you set it in there, but then you go underneath the cabinet and there's these long bolts that bolt it into the base. And there's 4 of them, one on each corner. And in my opinion, that thing's going to be tight, dude. That thing ain't going to fall over. I think that was a great way to do it. I was worried because it seemed like in all of Mad Little Pixels videos and everything, it literally just seemed like you just set it in there and there might be some feet that maybe sit in a hole like a divot, and that was supposed to secure it. But the fact is, on their website today, if you go look, Rex, you could even pull it up. They actually bolt this thing in to the base, so it ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean? But what it means though is it's not as easy to say, you know what, I feel like turning this into a bar top. You can't just take it right off. You're gonna have to get down on your hands and knees, get up under there, unbolt the damn thing. And how many times can you bolt it and unbolt it before it strips? Right? I mean, these are all the what if questions, right?
Yeah, and that reminds, how do you get to it? There must be a slide panel down the back or something, so you can easily pull it out and get to the back. You're not going to unscrew stuff. Here's the question: at $550, is it worth it to hack? You're getting closer. You're getting. If you can hack it, is it worth $550? You're getting closer. So you answer, Michael B.
Well, if you're going to spend that much money, why wouldn't you just go get a Legends Ultimate?
Yeah. Because Zero Hero doesn't want us to mention the Legends Ultimate. He already said it in the chat. He said we're not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
Not allowed to talk about what?
Legends Ultimate.
I missed it.
Well, what I said was, if you're going to spend $550, why wouldn't you just get a Legends Ultimate?
That's a good question, because technically you can play, right? You can play Neo Geo on there through certain fashions. Now, going back to that, what size monitor is in the at games, P-dubs?
A 24-inch, but it's 16:9 monitor. So
it's a widescreen. Yeah. Okay.
But that's because
I would like that better.
But remember, although it's a widescreen, when you play a horizontal game on the At Games Legends Ultimate, it is an 18-inch diagonal play field, and then about 3 inches on each side is bezel. Right.
That's how we do it with the emulation, though. That's how we add our own bezel. We do something nice. It has a nice background to it.
Even today, people freak out. They're like, you can't play horizontal games on that game. But guys, you're playing on an 18-inch diagonal screen, right? And on an arcade 1-up, they're 17 inches. So it's bigger than an arcade 1-up. You know what I mean? If you really needed a nickel and dime it, So, and personally, I like having the bezels on the side of the screen. I think the bezels look really cool.
The bezels can look cool, especially if you have some modding capabilities where you can change the bezels and do what you want with them. Go ahead, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to respond to Jeff Rainwater. I understand that. It's the argument, why don't you just get a Pi? There's a difference. If you're only buying the Neo Geo cabinet to hack, obviously you can just get an arcade At Games Legends Ultimate. But if you're buying it to play the Neo Geo and you want the artwork, obviously go get that. I'm not telling you what to do. So that's my comment on that. If you're only buying it to hack, there's other ways and probably better ways to do it already out there.
Yeah. Okay. So if they definitely confirm within the next couple weeks, you know what? Those 2 extra buttons, they're not just there for show. You're going to be able to add more games.
You have to. That's what it's for. We know that.
Is it worth $550 at that point? Maybe.
Maybe.
I
mean, again, though, it's still got some flaws to it that people are gonna want to upgrade to. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Let me ask you guys this: who's next getting that cabinet? We know it's going around from person to person. Who's next that gets it?
I think it's going to Mad Little Pixel next. And Mad Little Pixel, he don't hold back. So he'll be like, you know what, this sucks. This is great. This sucks. This is great. You know what I mean?
I feel like we'll get a more more honest, I'll say, opinion from Mad Little Pixel, but he still
no. I think no. Wait, hold on. Now, I'm not a fan of Retro Ralph, but I think Retro Ralph was honest in his review. I do think that he applies a filter when he was, because dude, you're doing a live show. It's the first time any of us have seen this product out of the box. You got a lot of people watching, including Unico themselves, SNK people watching, tuning in. That's a lot of pressure. I know what Ralph went through because when I unboxed that Toy Shock, and I was brand new, I didn't know crap about YouTube. When I unboxed that Toy Shock pinball machine, we had 300 people watching on Facebook. We had Toy Shock people watching. We had all people from the community watching. It's a lot of pressure when you're doing what you're doing, And of course, you're going to have a filter on, right? Because that you can't, but Mad Little Pixel, I don't think he's going to do it live. I think he's going to do a produced video, and he'll probably just, do like a 10, 20-minute video and say, this is good, this needs improvement, this is good, this sucks. You know how he is, right? So I think, he'll have less of a filter, but I don't think Ralph did anything wrong, in my opinion.
I don't think so. But again, you have relationships, right? And I say you got, when you have relationships, you're not getting the full truth, the full honesty. It doesn't matter. And I can say what I think people believe or don't believe, and I can say whether they're adding fluff or not fluff. I don't think you can get an honest opinion no matter what if somebody gives you a free unit, because Mad Little Pixel, he loves his Neo Geo. Now he goes off and rips on this thing like I do or say something bad about it. You think he's getting anything else after this? You think the guy's going to reach out to him and send him the next Neo Geo or the thing? So no, right, Michael? They're not going to.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe.
Michael, what do you think? You already talked.
Maybe.
Dubs. Shut up and let Michael say something.
Maybe. Go ahead.
About Mad Little Pixel, what he's going to think, or who is it going to next?
Well, what do you think Mad Little Pixel can give an honest review, since they're giving him this cabinet for a review, and there might be something in the future from this company that, that he might need him for something and get something from him. So can you give a bad review and throw away your relationship with this guy? If you say, like this one guy, well, I don't like the LCD screen. I don't like the buttons and joysticks. I don't like the fact that it's missing certain games. I don't like the refresh rate. I don't like it has no BIOS. He can't say that unless he wants to get rid of his relationship with the guy.
Yeah, and so I've never watched Mad Little Pixel, I'm going to be honest, but I will talk from a standpoint. I'm hoping that our buddy Nostalgia gets the cabinet next, because I think he'll do a fair and honest review, and I think that actually provides a lot more credence and information back to the company. But at the same time, certain companies will get pissed off because this is the cabinet that's going out to production and it's going to kill them. But I would rather see an honest review from people, and I would expect the company would appreciate an honest review so they can fix, hopefully, before this goes out.
Mm-hmm. Now, I like what I think Level 1 Online, if anybody can, and I'll say it's Mad Little Pixel who can do a truthful review and say what he wants. If anybody's going to do it, it's probably him, So I'll say that. What do you think, P-Dubs? Hold on, we're going to wrap it up in a second, but go ahead, P-Dubs.
Yeah, I'm excited to see MLP's review. So he's been providing some really good coverage on the product so far. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes out with. I don't have much more than that, Michael B. I mean, it was weird. I did kind of feel bad for them, because they had a lot of goofy things going on in the chat during their live stream and stuff. And guys, this was supposed to be a special event for the community. And despite the fact that Retro Ralph and I have no friendship period whatsoever and never will, the fact that my name kept getting brought up during the chat, during their live chat, the fact that people were trolling Ralph about other things, it was actually pretty disappointing to see. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I was just sitting there watching, eager to see what this thing was all about. And the live chat was getting out of hand at times. So it was embarrassing, guys. It was embarrassing.
So we've talked about this a little bit earlier on, that Neo Geo purists are going to kill this, and there's a market for it. But there's still a market for us 3/4 scale enthusiasts that want to pick this up. We want to add a Neo Geo cabinet to our arcades. And I wonder if maybe some of these pure arcade enthusiasts bleed over to an event like this and come in intentionally just to destroy this unit, just because it's not a real arcade cabinet.
Right.
It
Yeah.
seems to be this huge hatred of these 3/4 scale arcade cabinets from real arcade enthusiasts.
Okay, guys, we have a guest here. I just saw him pop in. He must have something he wants to say because he normally wouldn't pop in on the Rexer show. So, here he comes. Detroit Love.
Ah!
It's your boy. Do it. Do it.
All right, you got the floor,
Oh,
okay, D Love? Good timing because my kid needs me again. So take the floor, D Love.
Oh, well, I was just going to add, I haven't said much about that Neo Geo cabinet. I mean, I don't know. You know me, I like options. I say let the market decide what's going to happen to it. You know, all these people coming and talking all this crazy stuff, it doesn't make any sense. Let the product get released and we see where it goes. If it's no good, it'll flop. If it sells, people want it. So
Yeah.
I don't see why people have to. You know, we've seen this over the years. People, I can't like Android if I like Apple. I can't like Dell if I like Microsoft or what I mean. It's just so silly. The market will decide if the thing is worth playing, worth buying, worth having.
Yeah, that's the truth. I will say that. But yeah, well, I mean, missed the one point on you can like them all. You can like none of them. So everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? I mean,
Right, and nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, P Dubs. What else do we got to talk about before we wrap up? Anything in the chat? Anybody saying anything in the chat?
Let's see here. Guys, make sure you check out Detroit Love's channel. He recently picked up an At Games Legends Ultimate, snuck it into his house. It was pretty hilarious, that video.
Wait,
And
you got the new Ultimate?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
It was
there.
pretty funny.
Oh man, I haven't watched that one yet. I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, go
That's
check out
awesome.
the sneak.
Yeah,
Go check
there
out
you
the
go.
sneak video. It's pretty funny.
Okay, you had to sneak it in from the wife or something like that. You had.
Look, man, she still don't know it's here yet, but she.
Yeah. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing anything else in the chat.
I think D Love's got a lock on the door. She doesn't know that there's 20 arcades up there.
Yeah, well, she can't miss it. It's much larger.
I don't know. I personally, I feel this is a very exciting time.
It is. It's an exciting time, and I think there's a lot of stuff out there, guys. And I don't want to belabor the point about certain things, but there's a lot of good with this MVSX that I liked. I mean, they gave you more options, they gave you more games, they gave you a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of bad too that to me are simple things that they could have fixed and could have spent a little more money, maybe charged you more, maybe not. But I don't know. We'll see how well this does. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, Nostalgia brought it up, and it's a really good point. Remember, this is purely a travel unit at this point. This might not be the final production unit. So now's the time for us to make these comments, tell them what we don't want to see. People are reviewing it. We can say what we don't like, and hopefully they hear our feedback and change this before it goes to market.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, one last thing, because I got to bring this up, is Arcade 1UP was going to do a announcement. That was 4 or 5 weeks ago, and the announcement was supposed to come out 4 weeks, within 4 weeks. Is the announcement still Outrun?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what's taking so long? Because it's been 4 weeks, I think, since the...
I don't know. Maybe they put the gas pedal on the wrong side of the brake pedal. Maybe that's why.
That's
From what-
terrible.
From what we've heard, Outrun has been delayed till Q1. So the announcement is probably delayed because the cabinet's delayed.
Maybe they'll make an announcement saying, "Hey, everything's being delayed until then." You know what we're talking about. So, like, maybe because, guys, honestly, at this point, it's looking like Pinball's not going to happen until 2021. Outrun's not going to happen until 2021. So maybe the big announcement will be you'll have to wait later for another announcement. So
Why can't they just tell us these announcements? I guess
it's the
thing.
state of the world right now, man. It is what
I
it is.
know.
I'm honestly, I'm not pissing on these companies. I mean, nobody can get their stuff out. I mean, I get it. I mean, hopefully 2021 will be a better experience for the entire world, not just this gaming community. I think people forget what's going on in the world, and all they care about is where's my toy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Burger Time, where's my toy? I remember.
exactly. So
Okay, D Love, what's on your list for buying it now after this? Are you stuck now that you bought this?
You gonna get it?
Games?
Well,
You gonna
funny,
get it?
Brad O'Connor was saying in the comments. He says he's probably going to get a divorce once his II arcade shows up.
Yeah.
Well, I have one of those coming as well. So by the time she discovers this, she's probably going to see 2 new ones in here. So I just picked up I just ordered the what's the little handheld guys? The
Switch?
Nintendo Switch. Yeah, they sent me an email, said it was ready, but the game is not ready till Friday, so I'm not going to pick them up until Friday. That one's going to be a little easier to sneak in, no doubt. But I think my wife is going to like the Switch. I think the girls are going to like the Switch, so I'll keep that upstairs. But I'm not sure about the Neo Geo one, if I'm going to get that one or not. It doesn't blow my socks off yet. I think this Ultimate or this At Games Legend, I think I'm the right person to have it because some of the stuff is just so confusing, all of the add-on stuff. So I'm gonna have to start making it a little put in layman's terms on how to do some of this stuff.
there's a playlist on my channel, man. Only 80 videos to go through. You'll be fine. Just watch all 80 videos in a row. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, Detroit Love. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
I was thinking about, hey Rex, if you didn't invite me on the show, I would go ahead. No, go ahead,
I
Carl.
was just saying, I just want to get started with it.
I think he's got.
What'd you say?
Go ahead, D Love.
I was just saying, it's just so much that you can do with this thing that it's just overwhelming at the start. So I just can't wait to get started with it to actually
It's good. All right, P-Dubs, what were you saying?
Well, I was saying if you didn't invite me on the show, I was about ready to do a live stream. It was going to be called Crisscross Applesauce. And what I was going to do is I was going to play my Super Pac-Man cabinet like this. Because I literally had some guy in the comments on my review video of Super Pac-Man say, dude, just crisscross your arms. You'll be fine. Just play it that way. So I'm like, you know what? That's going to make a good live stream. So we're going to do Crisscross Applesauce, Super Pac-Man Galaga live stream. How high can P-Dub score playing like this?
Opposite-handed. Yeah,
I saw this. It's going to be awesome.
I saw this cake thing long ago, and my first thing was, oh, well, unfortunately, she didn't put the joysticks on the right side and the buttons on the right side, so you better eat the cake because it's not accurate. But that was a Miss Pac-Man one. But anyway.
Yeah.
Also, too, I think, did someone
do what, P-Dubs?
No, Detroit Love was saying something.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I was wondering, Rex, have you purchased any of these cabinets?
No,
on pre-order or
I don't purchase any of them because like what I was saying earlier, I don't have the money. My wife will kill me, man. I don't have the money for 20. I bought the one-ups. I got them for $50. That's the only way I was able to buy them. So I'm waiting for those things to go on sale again. You know,
it never goes on sale here in Michigan.
Yeah,
it did here, man. I got a couple of them. So, yeah, I do my own Detroit Love. I'm going to post something tonight on my community post of something I built, and then obviously I'm building a Donkey Kong machine. Those are my 2 projects right now, and I build them, you know, and that's the other thing I want to say. I build them normal size because I'm a big guy and I want a wide control panel. And somebody was asking about my Mortal Kombat. That's not a one-up. That's a custom build. It's a full-size control panel. It is a custom. It's not exactly to scale, but it is. But that's the way I do it because that's what I like. That's what I want. I want something that's wide, you know, and I want something that I can play and enjoy. And so I just build them myself and try and save some money.
I love to see that Donkey Kong. That's
You'll see it. It's coming. I need about 2-3 more months still. It's coming though.
Okay.
Yeah.
You doing it all yourself?
Yeah. Look here. I was so happy about this piece. I finally made this piece. Okay. This is the speaker panel piece, and you have no idea how hard it is to make this right here. This was so hard to make. My kids bang on. But
it's adorable, man.
And I'm making a red Donkey Kong, so that's why. So this is another piece I made. I showed some other pieces too. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You want to say hi, buddy? We're gonna go. Say bye, everyone. He said bye. He's like, bye.
Hey guys, don't forget to apply to be an Arcade 1-Up quality assurance specialist. They just posted a job advertisement on their Facebook fan page. So who's gonna get that? D Love, you in? Michael B, what up?
I'd almost do it for free for them just because I feel pity for them and how poor it how poorly they do a job of it. But
Yeah, I mean, here's the bottom line.
Yeah,
They have a-
it's not
they
gonna
have
be
a-
me, that's for
They have a fan base. They have a fan base that they could send these cabinets to and have them test these things before these things ever sell. It makes absolutely no sense for them to release some crap like that. You know what I mean? You have an army of people that want to promote your product and make sure it works right and know how the original cabinets look. And for them to let Sally Sue in the back corner think they know what they're doing is pretty crazy to me.
Yep. Okay, guys, I can't ignore my kid anymore. I'm gonna go play
right.
some Minecraft with him. Everybody, thanks for watching, and thanks, guys, for joining. I always appreciate it. Okay, take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Later, dudes.
Bye.